A new statue of Mother Cabrini in Battery Park, Monday Musings. With all the bad news that we've heard about statues, we actually have some good news to share about statues. On Columbus Day, a new statue of Mother Cabrini was unveiled in Battery Park, which is in Lower Manhattan, and it overlooks Ellis Island. It also overlooks the Statue of Liberty and other aspects that are important to those who immigrated to the United States. And so, if you don't know anything about St. Frances Xavier Cabrini, Mother Cabrini as she's popularly called, she is the patron saint of immigrants. She's also the first naturalized citizen of the United States to be canonized. She was born in Italy. She was the youngest of 13 children, and she eventually emigrated to this country in order to serve the poor Italian immigrants who were living in the United States at that time. She tried to join the religious order that educated her, and when she tried to join, she was told no on that because of her poor health. And so she would go on to found an orphanage, and then other ladies started wanting to follow her way of life, and so she established her own order. She eventually took on a habit and wrote the rules and constitutions of her order, and she always wanted to be a missionary in China. And at the urging of Pope Leo the 13th, she was actually asked to go not to China but to the United States because there was a lot of Italian immigrants who were going there, and she was asked to go there to, help those Italian immigrants. She had to go by boat, obviously, at that time to the United States. And what's kind of surprising about that is she had this, terrible fear of water, and because of that, she still had to conquer that fear, and she would go on numerous boat trips from Italy to the United States, back and forth all the time. And so, even in small ways, she had to conquer some things that she was afraid of. When she came to the United States, she endured many hardships when the house that they were supposed to establish their community in was no longer available when they got here. So the Archbishop at that time, kind of told her it'd probably be best if she went back to Italy, and she was determined here to stay in the United States in order to found the orphanage that she wanted to found. She would eventually go on to found some 67 institutions, hospitals, orphanages, schools, all things like that. And she also noticed that the Italian immigrants were losing their faith when they came to the United States, as we so often see for many different cultures. And so she took seriously adult education classes to make sure that those Italian immigrants still preserved the faith in this new land that they were living in. She would go on to die of malaria, and she died in one of the hospitals that was founded by her, and she did that in Chicago. Her head is actually in Rome at the Congregation's International Mother House. One of her arms is at the National Shrine in Chicago, and the rest of her body lies in the shrine in New York City. On Columbus Day, again, the statue of Mother Cabrini was unveiled in Battery Park, and like everything, this even seemed to come with some controversy. The way this came about was Mayor Bill de Blasio. He commissioned a study to look at the monuments and statues in New York City, and he was going to set aside $10 million to craft new monuments that were, I guess, better representative of ethnic and gender diversity. And the program was called She Built NYC, She Built New York City, and they opened it up to the public so the public could vote on that. And when that happened, Mother Cabrini received the most votes. She actually received double the number of votes than the runner-up, and everyone was kind of surprised when it was announced by Bill de Blasio's wife, Charlene McRae, that Mother Cabrini was not listed as one of the recipients who would have a statue erected, even though she did receive so many votes. In response to that, Bishop DiMarzio of Brooklyn, he actually organized a fundraiser and advocacy effort to build a statue of Mother Cabrini if the city wasn't going to. And so he organized a parade, and he rode on a float with a statue of Mother Cabrini, and there were some 3,000 people who were in attendance at that. And after that parade, Governor Andrew Cuomo, who's the governor of New York State, he said he would go on to work with the Brooklyn Diocese and the sponsors of that fundraiser in order to create a permanent statue of Mother Cabrini. So the statue, which I'll include a link, at least on Instagram, or a photo of on Instagram of the statue. It shows Mother Cabrini on a boat. Obviously, that's how she came to the United States. And with her is a young boy and a young girl. And the little girl is actually holding a book, and obviously for the schools that she founded. And the young boy is holding a suitcase, and he's also holding a wind instrument to show some of the cultural things that the Italians brought to this country. So the statue was designed, I'm not going to say their name correct, it was designed by Gilberto Biaggi and Giancarlo Biaggi. And so it is actually a beautiful statue, and it is some positive news in the midst of all that we've been going through. Because before it was announced that the state was going to erect this statue, and Governor Cuomo was actually present when the statue was unveiled. Because of that, the Archdiocese, or Diocese, I'm not sure which one, Diocese of Brooklyn actually had already raised some funds, so they're still looking to where they can build another statue of Mother Cabrini. At the unveiling of the statue, Bishop DiMarzio said, "We hope that people who visit the memorial will recognize that history should be repeated. There was care for the outcast and the marginalized, which Mother Cabrini understood. And we need that same care today. This is not just history. We want to make history with a new understanding of how we take care of people." So again, just some positive news, a new statue of Mother Cabrini. If you, I'm sure we have some parishioners who, go to Battery Park, maybe you work there. If you get a chance to see the statue, if you're going to the city for any reason and you get a chance to see it, certainly comment and tell us about that. If you are in the city ever, there's also the Shrine of Mother Cabrini, which is pretty far up north. It's, way past Harlem. You can get there easily by mass transportation, obviously, if you're in the city. And it has the remains of Mother Cabrini, which are under the altar. And there's also a beautiful mosaic of various events in Mother Cabrini's life. They have a small museum with her relics, a short video on her life. Of course, they have a gift shop, as all Catholic places do. And so if you're in Battery Park, obviously you can see the statue. If you want to make a day of seeing Mother Cabrini, you can also go from Battery Park to the shrine. So just some Monday musings on something positive of a new statue of Mother Cabrini, who did so much to help, in particular, Italian immigrants, but she is the patron saint of immigrants, and we still have many immigrants coming to this country. And so it was something positive that our church has done to help those who come to this country to establish life in a new land. So just some Monday musings. See you soon, St. Catherine's.